Well, hi everyone. It is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur here, coming at you tonight, which is June 4th, which is, yes, Saturday, and we are on a brand new master topic. As you know, we start with one on Saturday and we end on day 7 on Friday. So, for those of you that are new, great to have you here tonight. And you'll see there's a QR code. Just take your phone and use it to scan that QR code, and that will teleport you to my link tree. That's linktr.ee/, some other great stuff. But you can just scan the QR code, or you can go to Believe, BELIEVE, the letters ME, achieve.com. That's believemeachieve.com. That'll take you to the same place. So great to have you here tonight, and great to have all my associates, colleagues, and friends that have been watching me for so long. Thanks for being supporters. Really appreciate it. And I hope some of the new people will become supporters as well. It is great to have you here. Just to let you know, John C. Morley's Serial Entrepreneur launched a brand new list called JCM Academy, where it's kind of like Masterpiece Theater. I sit in my chair and I give advice about business. Our first episode was just launched just the other day, how to start a business. It's not quite as easy as everyone thinks. And I tell you what you need to have before you can start one and how you plan properly. So great to have you here. And our master topic, ladies and gentlemen, for the week is how to see the trees and not just the forest, right? So, how to see the trees and not just the forest. So, that might sound a little confusing, but what do I really mean by that? How to see the trees and not just the forest. Well, before we can understand that, let's first go to Merriam-Webster. And what I want to look up for you is to give you the definition of trees. Let's do that first, okay? So trees, which many of you probably have seen before. A tree is a noun. It is a woody perennial plant having a single, usually elongate main stem, generally with a few or no branches on its lower part. It's a shrub or herb or arborescent form, something in the form of resembling a tree, such as could be branches, stems. It could be a genealogical tree, a geno tree, phylogenetic tree, a vascular tree, such as in the body or human. As a piece of wood, it's usually adapted to a particular use or forming part of a structure or implement, or it's the cross on which Jesus was crucified. So that's just right out of Merriam-Webster. So what does it mean when we talk about the forest? So it's like we need to understand the basic words before we can actually get into what I'm talking about. So forest is a noun. It's a dense growth of trees and underbrush covering a large tract. A tract of wooded land in England, formerly owned by the Soviet and used for game forest, something resembling a forest, especially in profusion or lushness. Okay, so now that we have a basic understanding to what a tree is and what a forest is, where am I going? All right. Now, in life, you might have heard the phrase before, you need to see the trees and not just the forest, or you need to see the forest and not just the trees. So let's tackle that a little bit. So when that's referred to many times, it's stating that you're putting onus on something without looking at the other. So when we say how to see the trees and not just the forest, that means that you are looking at the trees, okay? But you're not seeing how everything comes together as a complete unit. If you see the forest and you don't see the trees, well, then you see everything, but you don't understand how the independence of these, we'll call them trees, but they're different objects or situations. I mean, it can be anything. It's not just land. It could be about people, it could be about relationships. It is a proverbial catch-all that has been adapted to explain the fact that many people miss things. They miss the details, right? They get so hung up in the details that they miss where everything else connects. And so this happens a lot in business. A manager might say to somebody, you know, you're a real smart person, but you need to see the entire forest, not just the trees. And the person might come back and say, well, what are you talking about? I thought this job was in finance. It is. And that's a metaphor because you're spending so much time on each individual tree or each individual thing that you're missing the whole conglomeration, how it comes together. So, this whole week is going to be talking about how we literally can focus on seeing not just the trees, but the entire forest. I think that's really a skill that a lot of people shy away from because a lot of people are very specific. And when they get too specific, they don't understand the relationship to how the specifics can affect things. If they understand the big relationship, but they don't understand the individual relationships, then the big relationship is going to be kind of muddy and they're not going to quite understand what's going on. Thus, I thought this was a really good topic. And so, we could refer this in, let's say, a genealogical diagram, whereby we can say that, you're missing the entire forest, but you see the trees. And so in that case, what we'd be talking about is the fact that, okay, you get the idea that the characteristics are passed from generation to generation, but you're not seeing how this affects the entire family, the entire forest. That's pretty neat, if you ask me. And so you're going to hear this in a lot of different industries. Somebody who is very good at seeing the trees really, really well means they're a specific person. But by being a specific person, they oftentimes miss the submodalities that will tie in or have to make you to adjust tweaking of that item so that it can correlate into the master picture. All right. If you've ever used a puzzle before, and I'm not talking about the one that's 10 pieces, I'm talking about the one that's at least 100 or 500 or 1,000. You don't do that in one night, at least not in a couple hours. It takes a while. And usually you do that with a few people. And so you look at the box and you see the picture. And you have to try to figure out, well, how do things go together? What's the forest? What's the big picture of the puzzle? All right, now I see what it is. It's a candy store. And it's a kid getting his very first lollipop in the candy store. When you know that, now you have to get granular and say, okay, gee, now I'm looking for the specifics. I'm looking for the red, the green, and the white, right? In the peppermint spearmint lollipop. So I'm focusing on the specifics. Not really interested. This room's not for spamming there, sir. So our moderator is going to block you. We would kindly ask you to leave our room. Spamming is very frowned upon here, and we do report all cases of spam to the network. And I see you guys, you came in on Twitch. So again, if you do continue, we will report you to Twitch. You really should understand proper etiquette, and it's not to Zoom crash or crash people's rooms with nonsense. Again, here's another joker. I think we probably should stop broadcasting to Twitch. We've been getting a lot of people on Twitch that just have this mentality that they're so important, whether they're trying to sell stuff, put a promo code in, put X-rated content. And we're not interested in any of that crap. We're not interested in any of it. So I think what a lot of these people really need to do is watch some of my videos and learn how to actually connect. Like this person here, I'm going to call out, is looking at the individual item, okay, which is me as somebody he can do business with, but he's not looking at the whole picture. He's not looking, or she's not looking at the forest. The fact that we're in a motivational session here, and it's actually rude and inappropriate to just blurt out things in a chat room, which is why we have moderators, and your stuff does not get to the rest of our team. So this is an example, and I don't know if it's something just from overseas, but it seems to be happening a lot from people in other parts of the world. People in the United States seem to have more respect for people that are doing things. And again, popping in a 3 or 4 sentence thing really just takes my level of respect for them and makes it lower than the scum on the bottom of my shoes. So hopefully they won't come back again. And hopefully you guys learn, because I do make examples out of these people, coming into a room and just talking about something is seeing the tree specifically, but not understanding the whole picture. The fact that maybe we have our own marketing team, maybe we own a marketing company, which we do, by the way, and maybe we're already successful and we don't need anybody to do that. So what you need to do, instead of just blurting out, is to watch and see our content. And then if you think there's something that might make sense, reach out to our PR team. And if we're interested, we'd get back to you. But it's not appropriate to do that in a live stream there, dude. Just not appropriate. Or ma'am, I don't know if you're a dude or ma'am, because your name is well, it's definitely not something United States. It's definitely something from another country. So anyway, my level of respect for that person has just dropped to a negative. And like I said, lower than the scum on the bottom of my shoes that I scrape off every night before I come in. And, you know, we're laughing about this, but the thing that's very interesting to me is that when you see these things, people think that it's okay to do this because all they're doing is thinking about themselves. They're thinking about how much money or how they can get business, but they have no regard, no professionalism, and no respect for people that are doing what they do. And it is my hope as serial entrepreneur that these people wake the heck up and get a clue, because just sending a spam message in a live broadcast that they'll hope will show is just, it makes me just want to just throw up. Okay. So talking more about the trees. So trees have individual characteristics, right? Such as the color of the tree, the shape of the tree, the type of tree, the breed, right? Let's say, how the tree responds. Is it in a certain type of soil? What are the characteristics of the tree? How tall does the tree get? Does the tree grow with other trees, or does it just work mostly on its own? And where's the tree found? And what kind of environment does it need to live in? Does it need sun, a lot of sun, light, low sun? Does it need a lot of water? Does it need fertilizer? What does it need? And so this is talking about the tree specifically. And so if I was a, let's say, a tree expert, and I focused on this tree, that's fine for the moment. But being a tree expert, I can't just focus on that tree. I need to understand the other landscape and the other types of trees and plants that are part of my environment, because that might help or hinder the growing of the success of the tree. And so we're going to find this week really fascinating, because we're going to dig into a lot of different places where people oftentimes go right for the trees. They don't see the forest. So if somebody just focused on the tree and they didn't focus on the other things that were in the forest, they might wind up killing that tree. Or they might wind up having a problem because that tree, like we said, it could be killed because it doesn't get the right environment, but it also might cause another issue. And the issue is the fact that I didn't know that that tree was so expensive to upkeep because I didn't look at the entire picture. I didn't look at the entire forest. I was just focused on the one thing. And we'll talk about a lot of these different examples during the week. And I hope that this will give you an understanding of where we're going and things that we're doing, because it's really important to definitely understand this. And I think if you learn this skill, your life is definitely going to change. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be with you again this evening on our first episode of, the trees and the entire forest. Which do you look at? We'll cover more on it. Be sure to, of course, like the video, love the video, comment below. Do you have any situations in your life where you focus so much like a laser on one thing, but then you forget all the other details and it causes a problem later? Or do you focus on the whole thing and you don't spend any time on the individual items? So you have to have this natural balance. And then tag your friends, your colleagues, and your associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then be sure to go below on my YouTube channel, John space E space Morley space serial entrepreneur, and look for the key phrase, help keep our content free. And then make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. We'll be so grateful. Those pennies and dollars will invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, new facilities, new staff, to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content to get you inspired to look at not just the trees, but the entire forest, and improve the quality of your life and help others improve the quality of their lives. And I know that's what you want. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your night. I will be back tomorrow, Sunday, with episode 2. Take care, everyone.